That's going in the vlog. Back home because Rob locked himself out with Simba. Failed university massively. I had the most horrendous cramps for 20.
So some of you asked what my morning routine looks like, and it literally looks like this. Simba being camera shy. And a cup of tea. So this is just normal English breakfast tea, nothing fancy, just with almond milk. And this is every single morning. I am a big fan of getting up early, having time to sit and do this with my fluff ball and do a bit of meditation.
My face looks like wood.
That's going in the vlog.
What?
That's going in the vlog, we're recording. Rob's face looks like wood, apparently. So, I don't know if you can see the steam coming up in front of me. First bowl of porridge of the season. I have got just porridge with flaxseed and vanilla protein, grapes, pumpkin seeds, and walnuts. And I'm gonna like chat to you guys. Okay, I'm a bit hot at the moment. So, welcome to my Q&A. I'm kind of gonna be taking you around my day, sort of throughout the day, while I answer the questions, just so it's not kind of boring with me sitting on the sofa talking to you guys. So you already saw my little morning routine. That was like a really basic morning routine. I get asked that question all the time. So I thought I would quickly give that one a little answer for you guys. Then I just wanted to quickly move on to my skincare routine. I'm not gonna go into this in loads of detail. I'm gonna keep it super simple with some of the products that I use. So every morning, Neil's Yard, it's frankincense intense, and then I also use the cleanser and a muslin cloth to take my makeup off every night. The Body Shop body yogurt, this is that gonna focus? Focus. There you go. Body Shop's body yogurt. Moringa is my absolute favorite. This is vegan. Obviously the Body Shop are cruelty free and doing amazing stuff in the cruelty free sort of territory. I don't really feel like I can review this because I've only been using it for a few weeks, but this is one of the Lush deodorant bars. So far, like, okay, but I'm yet to kind of make my mind up on it. So I'll kind of I don't know, somehow I'll let you guys know. I'll maybe do another vlog of some kind at some point, but yeah, that's a Lush deodorant bar. And then makeup wise, just showing you these two products. So Complexion Rescue Defense from Bare Minerals is like my go-to. It's SPF and it's also pollution protection as well. And then Tinted Moisturizer Complexion Rescue 2. That's kind of what I've got on at the moment. I've just showered and stuff. So yeah, nobody asked this question, but in case anyone's wondering what my favorite item of clothing is, it is this grey top. It is the shape of a cube. I got it for free. I wear it constantly. It's really unglamorous, but it's just one of those things. It's like my comfort top. I literally got it free on an airline. I was flying for a job, and it was like part of like the little sort of overnight sleeping on the plane package, and I now wear it all the time. So yeah, really, really uninteresting point, but there you go. What I did want to chat to you about was my education. So yeah, really cool doing this Q&A. A little bit different to things I've done before, a bit more personal, you guys getting to know me a little bit more. So my education, I wasn't the most academic in school. I was sort of smart, but I hated studying, I guess. And I kind of did school, did my GCSEs, did okay in my GCSEs, but actually I did really well in my GCSEs. What am I talking about? I don't think people really even talk about them as much now. Then I did A-levels, and for A-levels I did music, drama and PE, and then I did start to take French, and then I dropped French because I was like, no. I wish I spoke a language, but I went to the first class and I was like, this is not for me. I'm gonna eat some porridge, sorry, it's getting a bit claggy. So then I did my A-levels, and that's when I had my knee injury. Many of you won't know, I snapped my ACL. I was planning on going to dance school, and I snapped my ACL and tore meniscus and cartilage, and it was a bit of a mess. And kind of go into this story in a bit more detail because it's quite a long-winded, like, my life journey story. Sorry, it's kind of got a runny nose. And I did my A-levels but didn't do that well because I was in the midst of having operations and just felt crap. wasn't really turning up to my lessons. I was drinking quite a lot, kind of like binge drinking and going out, getting drunk, not really bothering about school. And then I went straight into work because I didn't really know what to do. And actually that was the best thing for me. That was probably one of the best things that I ever did, was just go straight into work. And I just started like as a receptionist, went into being a PA, actually had a really good time. So when I was 20, I was working for like a private equity firm as a office manager / PA to the directors, and they were a big money company, so got taken to Monte Carlo and crazy things like that, and it was really amazing. And then I just worked my way up and, you know, stayed as a PA until I realized that I was just not fulfilling who I was. Like, I'm quite a creative person and didn't really feel up to it. And then, yeah, went to the London College of Fashion for all of 3 months. Failed university massively. Yeah, so I applied and got in, and I just realized that sitting in those lectures just wasn't for me, especially when it came to like, it was marketing and promotion in fashion, and I don't know if I just instantly felt that it was a bit dated, and it just wasn't where I kind of felt like I needed to be, and I just left and went to intern at loads of places. So I interned at Urban Outfitters, I interned for a couple of PR agencies, and then I interned for Links of London, the jewellers, and then they gave me a position, and then I just worked my way up and worked in PR and marketing for about 6 years? For about 6 years I worked in PR and marketing. So that was my job. That was my job before I became a blogger, and I started my blog whilst I was in those jobs. Yeah, and I learned a lot. It was really interesting to be that side of things, especially when I'm blogging now, and I have a lot of people in PR marketing reaching out to me. So it's really interesting to kind of now be on the other side. And before that, like, I started work really young. Like, I wanted to earn my own money and buy my own stuff, and I worked for my parents' jewellers. Then I worked in pubs just washing up, then worked as a waitress, worked as a barmaid. Waitressing was kind of like my go-to. I was quite chatty, so did quite well with tips and things like that. But yeah, that was sort of like my education and my jobs in kind of a very small nutshell. Right, my porridge has gone so gloopy. Look at that, that is not good porridge now. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna eat. Okay, so far, not so good on my day, my Q&A. I'm supposed to have answered like 6 questions by now, and so far I have driven to the train station, back home, because Rob locked himself out with Simba, and now I am at the train station, and I am trying to get through a door, heading into London, where I will answer some more questions for you, so just sit tight. My Q&A vlog didn't quite work according to plan yesterday, because I was supposed to answer your questions whilst I was kind of in and around meetings in London, but life happened. There were people being shut out of houses. Rob locked himself out of the house.
Whoa, Rob didn't lock himself out. Someone locked him out.
And then, there was like a station closure and things like that. But anyway, I am back to answer your questions. Seeing as I am in the car with both Rob and our child, Simba, oh, you look so cute. So, children, whether or not I would like to have them. So it's kind of a question that got asked a lot. Obviously it's a personal one, but I did say this was a personal Q&A, so why not answer it? I have always been a little bit like unsure whether or not I want kids. Part of me thinks, yeah, at some point, but I still feel about 22, even though I'm 31, so I am just not ready for them yet, and I'm okay with that. That's taken a while though to kind of get to that okay point. For a while I sort of beat myself up that I wasn't ready for children, and like my friends were, and there were kind of family pressures, not family pressures, but you know, the sort of standard things from family, like when are you getting married, when are you having kids, and all of that. And I just kind of, yeah, I'm just not ready yet. So that's where I stand. I'd never say never, but right now I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. Anything, stop sat nav, anything to add there, Rob?
I did not sign up for this.
He did not sign up for this. We'll take that as a no.
Just a nice journey.
So while Rob is getting some petrol, I thought I'd chat to you guys again. So because I got a lot of questions about Simba and also around mental health, kind of like motivation and things like that, I'm going to do separate videos for those, because I can definitely fill out, like, you know, good videos with good advice for you guys and some tips and some experience on both of those subjects. So yeah, Simba stuff and motivational stuff will be coming in another vlog. This is a really good angle. Got so many chins. Anyway, okay, another question. So I don't know if a lot of you will know that I am totally teetotal. I'm totally teetotal. So I've been sober for just over 3 years. I haven't had a drop of alcohol, and I love it. I honestly like wouldn't go back. I don't miss alcohol, but I had you know, my reasons for making that change in my life. You can watch I've done videos on that topic, which you can watch. But the question that I got asked a few times was, what do I drink when I'm out with friends? And I'll be honest, I'm quite boring. I'm a kind of sparkling water with fresh limes sort of person. But I also kind of go for a mocktail every now and again. Rob, you're a big fan of a mocktail, aren't you?
I do love a mocktail.
You do, he loves a mocktail. He gets very excited if there's a mocktail menu. Normally something sort of like a strawberry milkshake, really, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'd rather have, so, yeah.
But yeah, or I normally have something with elderflower. But now there's, you can get, I don't know if they're in many sort of bars and places, but there's a non-alcoholic gin called Seedlip, which is nice. I mean, I don't have it that much. I'll have it like on the very odd occasion, or I'll have a kombucha. So it's like a fermented drink, which is nice. It just takes a little bit getting used to. But yeah, they would be my options. I've got to do with it. You need all the
Hello. You having a nice walk?
Lovely, thank you.
With the crunchy leaves. Are we crunching the leaves, Simba? Hi. Your fans would like to know how it is that you have such soft ears. Well, it's just because I'm amazing. Anyway, I will do a video about Simba, because he deserves a whole video to himself.
It's a whole channel.
Okay, I'm on my sofa. I gave in. I just don't know how people film these videos where they are out and about, but then they've still got to be thinking of like the video topic. Like I had the questions all written down, but life just took over. And I guess that's actually, that's an answer to one of the questions that I got, was like, how do I schedule my days and things like that. Like I always have a plan of what I'm gonna do, but then things come up. Not so much on like a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. Like jobs can come in like quite last minute. Like I only had, this video was meant to be live 2 days ago. But I just had a last minute job confirmed, teaching job in London, which meant that I kind of had to like get a lot of work done sort of the day before, and then I had a day out with Rob that had been in the diary for ages, so which was really lovely, all really awesome stuff, but it's just sort of like, you know, moving around all the time. So anyway, I'm gonna get on with the Q&A again. Back to it. One of the questions that I got asked loads was about periods. I did a post actually on my Instagram about my menstrual cycle, well, about more kind of like what I use a while back, which was really well received. I have since, quite literally like 3 days ago, had a little bit of an issue with my menstrual cup. So I have regular periods. Even actually when I was really struggling with my eating disorders, I didn't actually lose my period. So I was, I guess you could say, quite lucky, even though I was going through a horrendous time. But I was on the pill for a long time is what I'm gonna say, probably like 10 years, 11 years. And I just decided that I didn't want to be putting things into my body that I don't really know what they are, and I don't really know what they're doing, and they're making shifts to my hormone levels. And it kind of like seemed a bit of a no-brainer. Like it's been a very long time since I've taken sort of like paracetamol and things like that. I'll always try and find a natural remedy where possible. So it just kind of made sense to stop taking the pill. And also because I stopped having a regular job, you stop having the routine of sort of knowing where you're going to be. So it's like every single day up at the same time doing the same things, and then you're kind of like your pill fits into that. Whereas I think that because I then went freelance and I wasn't doing the same every day, I kind of was forgetting to take my pill every now and again, and because I am not ready for a child yet, I didn't want to kind of be leaving myself in a bit of a sticky situation. So I have the coil, and the copper coil. When I went to the doctors, they were really funny about me choosing the copper coil over the Mirena coil. The Mirena coil basically has hormones in it, and they say, well, the hormones only stay locally within that kind of area. However, it was still hormones. For me, obviously, you have to remember, like, I'm answering these questions. I'm just one person. And, you know, not things that I'm saying to you is purely just to kind of like let you know kind of like how I'm living my life, in case you wanted to, you know, be curious about maybe shifting things in your own, possibly being inspired. But this isn't to say anything I say is like you should go out and do this. So yeah, I had the coil fitted in January. I had the most horrendous cramps for 24 hours after that. I got it done on Rob's birthday. Soz Rob. That didn't go down too well. I was literally curled up in a ball like I can't move. But then after that, my periods have been like clockwork. What I find is alternate periods. So I'll have like a really heavy one, and my cramps will be a little, you know, sort of bad. And then like the one just gone, I had quite a light period, and I didn't really get cramps at all. So I've always been quite a light bleeder when it comes to periods. When it comes to menstrual cups, tampons, things like that, I was always using tampons until earlier this year, when I got my menstrual cup, which I loved, and I was using the Lily cup. And I say was because I had a little bit of an issue getting it out this time round. I don't know why. It must have just been like either my positioning or just the fact that I wasn't relaxed, and it just freaked me out. So now I'm on, I don't think that the little, I don't know what to call it, the little spout, it's not a spout, the little bit that drops down, I don't think it's quite long enough. Even though I've been fine for months, you know, when you just have that experience, you're like, oh, and it's just weirded me out, it's freaked me out. And so for the final day of my period just gone, I had to use tampons again, which I don't like, obviously, because for environmental reasons, I really want to try and keep to the menstrual cup. So I'm now on the hunt for another one. If you guys have recommendations, obviously, you know, by all means, let me know. I know there's so many out there on the market, but I also know it's a bit of a, you know, trial and error with your own area. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on contraception and periods and things like that. Another question was, how do I stay motivated with blogging and just fitness in general? I always have a really annoying answer for fitness, in that I actually just really enjoy it. I really like getting my bum to the gym. It gets me out of the house, because obviously I work from here, so sometimes there aren't many yoga classes around here, so I do a lot of my own practice at home. So going to the gym for me is kind of like my outing for the day, which is really nice, and I like it, and I love how my body feels afterwards. I get like a bit of a mental workout, you know, that push. So I really enjoy it. In terms of staying motivated with the blog, I'm not as good. My blog, I haven't written a blog post for a good few weeks now, coming on to probably just over a month, and it's just because I don't really know what to write about. I'm in a little bit of, I'll be honest, I'm in a little bit of a rut. I feel like, you know, I'm having like really bad kind of comparison situations on, you know, every few days I'll be like, oh gosh, that person's so good at writing, I'm bad. You know what it's like when you just you compare and you get yourself into that spiral. And I guess like I've got so many ideas. It's not the ideas, it's literally just sitting down in front of my laptop. And it's also the time, but ultimately if I really wanted to do it, I could find the time. Let's face it, that is a lot of, that's how life works. I just don't know what my avoidance is. I just don't feel, I don't know. But I am gonna get back to blogging because I have a really cool kind of like teacher series that I want to do, all about kind of like coming away from your 200-hour training and then kind of getting into teaching and knowing what to do. So I really want to get into it. But if you guys like want anything in particular from me, from blog posts like that you want to read, then please do comment and let me know. I just think I really enjoy talking to the camera and chatting to you guys. It feels like a little bit more interactive. So I guess a lot of the time my blog post ideas end up being videos anyway. But I do love writing. I just need to get my mojo back. So help me. How do I handle down days? I sit with them. And that's not something that I've been doing for a long time. I used to, if I was having a down day, I would just try and do everything possible to get out of it. You know, I'd read like, you know, motivational quotes, and I would, you know, like push myself really hard to get on my yoga mat or go to the gym or smile at myself in the mirror, you know, see my friends, stuff like that. And those things are all valid and they're all great. But actually now, if I'm having a down day, I just let myself be with it and sit with it because it's okay. And I don't need to hurry myself out of it. Like for instance, yesterday I had a really, really great morning, and I was teaching an event, and it was really awesome, but it was on it was quite high intensity in terms of there being a lot of people, me feeling like I'm putting a bit of pressure on myself, like proving myself, all of those things that you kind of go through. And it was obviously traveling into London, traveling back out again. And by the time I got back here, it wasn't so much a down day, it was just like that mental exhaustion. And I just was like, do you know what? I'm not even going to force it, 'cause I was like, I haven't been to the gym this week, I need to go to the gym. Oh gosh, like I need to do this, this and this. And I thought, no, I'm just gonna sit on the sofa and I'm gonna put Netflix on, and I'll put my laptop by my side, and if I want to do some emails, then I will, but if I don't, then I won't. And I did do a few emails, but then Simba and I, who is the lump next to me, Simba and I just kind of like chilled out on the sofa. We might have accidentally fallen asleep for 20 minutes. And it was just, yeah, accepting. That is how I handle down days. And I guess maybe that's not the answer that everybody wants, because, you know, a lot of people don't necessarily have the luxury that I have, where yes, my job is like it's 7 days a week, but the beauty of it being 7 days a week is that I can then, you know, on a Thursday afternoon, have a few hours to myself if I want to. And I'm very aware that that's like the lifestyle that I've designed for myself, and I'm in that. And I know that if you're in an office and you just got to get yourself there, first of all, I would call a boss and I would actually explain to them, like, mental health needs to be spoken about. It has to be spoken about. And it's about time that, you know, employers start recognizing it as kind of like an illness and as time that you might need. So I would always recommend telling someone, like when I was going through what I went through years and years ago with my eating disorders, I actually didn't tell anyone, but I had very brilliant bosses at the time who noticed it in me, and they were the ones that sort of said to me, you need to get help. I was very lucky to have such amazing people, supportive people around me. So I would always say call someone, like call your employer and explain. And I know that I know that it can feel like weakness, but what you have to remember is that the strength that it takes to say that is like the opposite of being weak. It's like that's so empowering to be like, do you know what? I just need an hour at home this morning just to sort myself out. Also, another thing that I do actually do, I would recommend this, you don't even need to have a dog for it, but I like to just go outside and go for a walk. So I'm a real, like, I like to have time in the mornings. I've never been a sort of like leaving the house and get up half an hour before. I very much kind of get up like an hour and a half before, and that's even if I've got to leave the house at sort of like, if I have to leave the house at 7 AM, I will be up at 5:30, 5:45, just so I've got a little bit of extra time. And if I'm not going to meditate, which most of the time I will, then just go outside and go for a wander, even if it's around the block for 15 minutes. Let the fresh air like hit your face, just like take some nice big breaths, roll your shoulders back, breathe out through the mouth, Yeah, and obviously if you have a dog, take the dog out, but if you don't, just go for a stroll. And obviously meditation, I always recommend meditation. I have got lots of guided meditations and yoga flows on my YouTube, so massively recommend you trying those too. So yeah, that's how to handle a down day. I really like this question. I know we're jumping all over the place, but that was kind of the nature of this Q&A. It wasn't going to be like yoga specific, it was just all about kind of me. And this is my favorite hikes that I have done, or what's on my kind of like to-do list. So my favorite hikes that I have done, one of them was Trolltunga in Norway. It was amazing, it was grueling, it was hard. We had really bad weather conditions for it, so it was tough going. If you're going to do it, then get up super early. We started the hike at about 5:45 in the morning, and we were the first ones up to the top. Oh, actually, bar 3 guys who had camped up there, because Norway is a lot of free land, so you can camp, which is really nice. I'm not sure what Trolltunga's like now, because I know that there was, after we went there and hiked, there was an incident where someone very, very sadly fell and passed away. So I'm not sure if there's any barriers or anything in place now, but if you're careful, then, you know, I mean, no accidents happen, but it's beautiful. The fjords of Norway are definitely worth hiking around. There's so many as well there. That's just one of them. Any hikes along the coastal path of Pembrokeshire just make me feel like I'm home. It's just one of those places. It can be rain or shine. Okay, maybe not like torrential rain, because there's nowhere to hide and you're on the coastal path, but it is beautiful. So Pembrokeshire, we hike sort of around like St David's, Solva, Aberystwyth, Newgale, Druidston, all of those kind of places. So yeah, just all around the sort of southern tip of the Pembrokeshire coast, which I absolutely love. I also did a really, really lovely hike, which was from Schinnigaplatz to First, and that is in the Swiss Alps, and we stayed in Grindelwald, and then yeah, we went up and we hiked, yeah, Schinnigaplatz first. I actually did a vlog. I vlogged that hike, so if you go through my travel vlogs, you'll find that, and it was awesome. I recommend doing that one. And also when we were there, we did the Jungfrau as well, which was not so much a hike, because you get the little train up, but then if you want to go to the bar at the top, then you do have to sort of walk through thick snow. And it's amazing, because if you've got, I mean, we had these bright blue skies, we all got burnt, which was a bit of a nightmare, because it was freezing cold, but also boiling. I realise that makes no sense, but yeah, that's amazing. Where would I like to hike? Oh, so many places. I'm gonna do Machu Picchu next year. I would love to do Kilimanjaro. I still haven't done Scarfell Pike, which I'd really like to do, and I haven't done Ben Nevis either. So I think a friend and I might do the 3 Peaks Challenge next year, which is the 24-hour one. So I might try and do that. But I love hiking. I honestly love it. It's such an amazing way just to take in our world. And yeah, Rob and I are actually planning, well, we're gonna do Machu Picchu next year, and then we're gonna maybe plan another little like European hiking adventure. So yeah, if you've got any recommendations on hikes, hit me up, because I want to know about them. Simba thinks the postman's coming in here. Simba, is the postman coming in here? I don't think he is. I don't think he is. That woke you up, didn't it? Whenever he hears someone outside, he's like, protection mode. Aren't you, Bubby? Oh, yes. Sorry, we're just going to take a moment out while I just stroke Simba. Oh. Oh, and that's my next door neighbour talking really loudly, as she likes to do when I'm filming a lot of the time. So I'm going to leave it there with this Q&A. Hopefully that's answered quite a few of the questions. I sort of kind of grouped the frequently asked ones, the most asked ones together. Obviously nothing relating to yoga. And like I said, there were lots about this guy, and lots as well about business. So I'm going to film my next 2 Wednesday videos. I realise this isn't up on a Wednesday, but the next 2 videos that I put up on a Wednesday will be my Simba update, kind of everything that you might need to know about rescuing a dog, what it's like, how it's changed my life, for the good and the bad, because there is bad too, you know. I mean, you're a dreamboat, but there's struggles that come with it, and business as well. So kind of looking at like how I decided to kind of go it alone and where I'm at from a business point of view now, and where I'm kind of heading. So yes, thank you so, oh, I've got hair in my mouth. Oh, it's Simba's hair. Oh, that would be one of the downsides of having a really fluffy dog. Anyway, thank you so, so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Please do comment below and I will see you again soon. Oh, and please make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. Thank you. Bye.